Greetings. I'm Pastor Jim Cock from the Care Ministries of the Crystal Cathedral, and it is my privilege and my honor, and I'm very excited to talk to you today about care and kindness. It is such a needed commodity in our world. There is so much meanness and unfriendliness and carelessness that it is my passion to help you and other people to become inspired and motivated and enthused about a little bit more of care and kindness in everyday life. And for this first lesson, I'd like to just talk to you about some biblical texts which really are behind our whole project and program to inspire and motivate people to greater levels of care and kindness. You may remember that Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." Well, that is such a stunning pronouncement that Jesus gave us, because he also spoke of himself as the light of the world. He calls us the light of the world. Now, when you think of that, it means that whatever light there is in the world depends on us. And if there isn't a lot of light, maybe we can do more to brighten it. And that's what I'm hoping by talking to you, that everybody who hears this might decide to increase the intensity of their own involvement in this world so that the world gets a little bit brighter. Jesus said, let your light so shine that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. So that's where it goes. If we are bright and brighter, God gets the glory and God gets the honor. One of the wonderful verses that really helps us in this is from 1 John 4, verse 7 to 12. This is a stunning verse. Let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Imagine that. That the extent to which we care for other people, the extent to which we are lights in the lives of other people, this is God in us flowing into the lives of other people. And it's not just ourselves. It is the Spirit of God in us, because God is love. And if God so loved us, this verse continues, we also ought to love one another. If we love one another, God abides in us. So that's such a wonderful announcement, that the extent to which we show love in this world is evidence that God is alive in us. And it is God who's coming through us. And so when we care for others, befriend others, and do acts of kindness, it is God coming through us. We are giving people tastes of God whenever we touch them with kindness and care. Well, there's another verse that I'd like to share with you. It's from Paul's epistle to the Romans, and he says, we are children of God, and if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if. Now here's the littlest word there is the biggest word. He says, if we suffer with him. Well, I think most of us are not inclined to choose to suffer. And that word suffering can really be a big word in the lives of some people. But there's another interesting sense in which we can use that word suffer. Because we're told by St. Paul that we are joint heirs with Christ if we suffer with Christ. Well, whenever any person, whenever you put yourself out to help someone else, whether you make a call to somebody who's going through illness, if you visit someone who's had a death in the family, if you just say an extra word of appreciation to someone who serves you at a store, whenever you do that and kind of put yourself out for someone else, that is a form of suffering for other people. It's a form of suffering for Christ. And so even though it is not highly painful, it is true that whenever we discomfort ourselves, when we move out of our comfort zone, we are acting in the way that Jesus wants us to act. So, I think many of us have always wanted to give to the Lord, make the world a better place, be considered by God as a faithful servant, and it is so easy to do if we just put our minds to it. If we just start seeing people and regarding them as folks who need a little bit of friendliness or care or cheer or loving kindness from us. Because Jesus said this, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Well, that's what Jesus did in the maximum way. He actually died for us on the cross. But we are able to participate in that spirit when we put ourselves out, when we move out of our own comfort zone, to care and to be kind to another person. So that's part of what I really want to help you to see, that we have such an important assignment in life, being the light of the world. And one of the main qualities that you read of God in the whole Bible is captured in the word compassion. God is compassionate. And when we look at God, we see that one of the main things that God is actively showing us in all of Scripture and all of life is that God feels for us. That's what compassion means. The word compassion means to feel with. And sometimes when we are sick or lonely or grieving, we wonder where God is. Well, according to the Scriptures, we need to be reminded that the heart of God is compassion, that He is feeling with us, caring for us, feeling our pain. One of the great events of all history was when the children of Israel were in slavery in Egypt, and they were in misery. And it says in Exodus 2, the children groaned and they cried out, and their cry came up to God, and God remembered them. And later on it says, God speaking, I have surely seen the oppression of my people, and have heard their cry, and I know their sorrows, so I have come down to deliver them. There you see the heart of God, caring for hurting people. And we are created in the image of God. So we are godlike. And so compassion is really a lively part of who we are too. And it is important that we don't kind of cloud it over or brush by it, but that we let this kind of spirit, the spirit of compassion, live in us, and that we are people who go through this life, go through this world, with hearts that are breaking for other people, and to some extent, reaching out to them in small ways and sometimes big ways. And so this is what Scripture calls us to be people of love. There's no word more powerful than love, because God is love, and the extent to which we show love is evidence of God living in us. So may God bless you and help you and all of us to grow in excitement and enthusiasm for giving care and kindness to everybody around us. Thank you for listening today.